Thanks for coming out. Any birthdays today? All right. The last time I saw my dad, we were playing hide and seek, and that was over 20 years ago. So he must have found a really good spot to hide. Get.
She's a cartoonist, she's a stand-up, she's a friend, she's a mom, she's everything you could ever want. Everybody give it up for Mo Welch!
Oh my, thank you. Hi. I've been doing stand-up for like 15 years.
Please welcome the very funny Mo Welch!
I'm from a town called Normal, Illinois. No. Normal is a very suspicious name for a town.
I don't know how to relate to people. Like, I don't know how to relate to my friends. None of their dads were in prison.
And truly, the first set that I ever had, I wrote a dad joke.
My dad went to prison because he stole TVs from Sears on more than one occasion. It's like a dad and
My dad,
dads are hacked.
how long do you think it's gonna take for her to get over dad?
The first cartoon I had published in the New Yorker was a dad joke. He said he was going out to get oat milk and vape refills, but he never came back.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing in the pandemic, but what I was doing, I mean, a lot of people were just having fun, you know, baking sourdough bread and getting divorced, and I went through all of my joke notebooks and I realized a trend. Over the years, I have written so many jokes about my dad, my own kind of dad jokes. I'm talking like pages and pages, like an hour of jokes about my dad, which is weird because I haven't seen my dad in 20 years. So essentially, I have all these jokes about a stranger, about a guy that I don't know. And not only that, I have jokes just about dads in general. It's like I'm completely obsessed with dads. Here are some examples of those jokes in my notebooks. I hate dad jokes. Like the classic definition of a dad joke: corny, poor writing, they steal it from the internet and claim it's theirs. Every time I hear a dad tell a dad joke, I'm so happy that mine abandoned my whole family. Yeah, thank you. Did you know that daddy-daughter porn is the #1 porn category online? Yeah, I mean, those guys, they're not angels. But at least they showed up. Yeah. That one's not for everyone. It's not for everybody. It's really not. And honestly, I would never say it. It's just in my joke notebook. I would never say it on stage. It's just there.
It's wild. I never wanted to see my dad. Like, I never really thought about seeing him again. And then I gave birth to Cleo, and I was just kind of like, you know, it's just wild that his DNA is in her. And like, he is a part of her, you know? Hey Mom, it's me, Mo. I have this wild idea that I travel to Central Illinois and see if Dad would come meet up with me. I'll be able to like go to the birthplace of all of these jokes and revisit the source of the material.
Well, I think it's very brave. I know my big thing is whether he's going to show up or not.
Do you think it's safe for me to go out there and meet him?
Well, my first gut reaction is no. I'm scared.
I had a baby with a woman the way that my Lord and Savior Melissa Etheridge intended. Yeah. I came to her window with a lot of frozen sperm. We had to get the help of a sperm donor, but not for lack of trying. My wife and I tried to have a baby on our own for so long. We were just... Every night, just scissor and just cut, scissor, scissor, cut. And unfortunately, we didn't make a baby, but we did make a beautiful snowflake chain we hang up around the holidays. And that's both a scissoring joke and a crafting joke. You're into crafting. I should also say lesbian, I mean, it's kind of a myth. Lesbians don't really scissor. I mean, we scissor as much as hetero couples 69, which is just like when we're on drugs and in the first couple days of the relationship. A lot of people ask, like, in a lesbian relationship, how do you choose who has the baby? And the way we chose is, like, we were just like, okay, well, it's the tall one, you know? It's lesbian law, I can take it. But the deal was, I was gonna have our first kid, and then my wife was gonna have our second kid, so we'd have 2 kids. But what happened was I gave birth to our first kid, and she saw that. And she said, I'm not doing that. So we're having 1 kid. Yeah, she scammed me pretty good. But joke's on her, because every morning I put a little bit of sperm in her coffee. Yeah, who's the dumbass now? I love being a mom, I do. I'm a pretty good mom, because the first decision that I had to make for my daughter, it was the right decision. My daughter, her due date was 9/11, and honestly, I was just like any other day, like literally any other day. She has a lot on her plate, she already has 2 moms. We don't need to give her a September 11th birthday. So I went in there and I told the doctor, I was like, hey, can we either like speed this up or really slow it down? And he was all for it in a way where I was like, this seems wrong. He's like, yeah, let's do this. He gave me all the drugs. I pushed so hard, I broke my body. I had so many stitches, couldn't walk for 6 weeks after. And my daughter was born at 11:45 p.m. on September 10th. Yeah, thank you. So, obviously 9/11 we will never forget. But unfortunately 9/10 is my pussy's 9/11. So, yeah. Yikes. There were so many steps to having the baby. We had so many steps just to have 1 baby, which is wild because for my dad to have 5 kids, all he had to do was have 5 drunk orgasms.
All right, Mama's got a truck, let's go. I went to therapy, and she told me, she was like, you're gonna wanna have a lot of questions prepared, because once you get answers to the questions, then you're gonna be able to like move on, and then you can forge a relationship with this person if you'd like. He was not a good guy. He was scary as hell when we were kids. And I have no idea how this is gonna go. We got in this morning, we're finally eating food. We are 3.5 hours away from my dad, who's camping in the countryside in central Illinois. And we will see him, hold on, here he is. Growing up, you're just like, he's a bad person. Like, all the stories I have of him are so bad. And then I realized that these stories are from when he's in his 20s, and maybe he's like a better guy, and like I've just labeled this person as a bad guy because those are my memories of him. But people can change, because you make some of your worst decisions when you're in your 20s. And in my 20s, I pretended to be straight for a very long time, and Abercrombie is not cheap, so. My dad is like, he's a bad boy. Like when my mom met him, he was a bad boy. And you're not supposed to marry a bad boy and have 5 kids. He was a walking red flag. I don't want this piece to just be like shitting on dads, because there are great dads. You know, Barack Obama, other people. If there's a really great dad, like everybody knows it. It's like if a dad does his daughter's hair, he's a viral star. And then if the mom does the hair every other day of the year, she's just the bomb. You know, every female comic gets trolled online. They're like, women aren't funny. And I feel for them, because I'm like, that person definitely doesn't have a mom. If you're saying women aren't funny, you're like, you don't respect the comedy of a mom, because moms are hilarious.
I do have fans. They're just not who I thought they would be. My fans are like, they're military people. And it's confusing to me because I was never in the military. But those are my fans, and I'll take them. Hey, I need some fans. Any military Mo Welch fans in the audience tonight? Okay, well, you guys all hate America. My DMs are wild. It's just like all the guys from the commercials, all the guys from the brochures. You know, they're just in there. It's the Army guys and the Air Force and the Water One, just, you know, hanging out in my DMs. Just guys that are like, hey, Mo, caught your set at Zany's. Love that lesbian character you do. It's not a character. Anyway, if you're ever driving through Peoria, let me know. I'd love to buy you a steak dinner. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the troops. Best, Rich. They're honestly very nice. I have no dick pics so far. I don't know why I have that fan base. The only reason I can think is when I was in college, I had this friend, and he went to Iraq for the war. And when he came back, I gave him a hand job. Yeah. So don't say I never did nothing for my country. Yes, I did. Unfortunately, he did get PTSD, but not from the war. He got PTSD from the very aggressive hand job he received from a closeted lesbian in college. Oh, thank you, yeah. I don't know how hard you're supposed to pull. There's no rule book. Yeah. I just imagine he's like, he just has night terrors. He just wakes up, he's like, ah! His wife is like, are you okay? Is it the war? Mo Welch's hands. I don't know why he's 105 in that impression, but he is. I do have pretty large hands for a female. You know what they say about a lady with big hands? Gross. I was sitting on my couch and a tooth dropped out of my mouth. Just dropped out of my mouth. I wasn't eating or drinking anything, just plop. Yeah, I thought like as you get older, things start to ache, like joints or your back hurts. No, stuff just falls off. Just by, you know. Just falls off. And the thing, when you go to the dentist and you're 18, it's much different than when you go on the dark side of your 30s, because when you go, you're 18 years old, they want to fix you up. They said, let me put a tooth in there, like let's fix this up, get new siding, move that bus, go on and smile, Madison, live your life. When you go in there, like I go in there, it's fucking sad. The dentist is just like, sees that hole and says, do you want to just leave it? Like, just leave the hole? Do you even smile that much at your age? So, I just miss getting paid to lose my teeth. When I was a kid, I was paid to lose my teeth. And I found out that I have a broke tooth fairy because I would lose a tooth and then the tooth fairy would just put a check for $1 under my pillow. And then when I wake up, my mom's like, hey, do you mind not cashing that till Friday? I'm like, yeah, I don't have a bank account, Mom. I'm 6.
All right, we are at the gas station. I think we should go in, get a little souvenir for my dad, you know, maybe see if we can't get some balls on this truck. You know, get some truck balls. I can tell you with all confidence, somebody that wears these sunglasses does not have the same political views as me. Oh, Daddy's little monster. Dude, they know me too well here. You remember the cross Jesus died on? Fake diamonds. Do you guys by chance have any of the truck balls that go on the back of a truck?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, they did not have the truck nuts, so maybe we'll try another gas station, but got my dad a Slim Jim. I heard that's what dads like.
When we were kids, my dad lived in this super exclusive gated community called prison. And I really don't want him to be like just a total brat, but my dad went to private prison. Yeah, he did. My dad went to private. So, where'd your dad go? Merrill Lynch? Cool. Like, I met this girl and she's like, I'm from Joliet, Illinois. And immediately I was like, Joliet, Illinois? Joliet State Prison. My dad went there. My dad went, like, it's the University of Michigan. Like, yeah, my dad, like, class of '86.
There it is. Oh, haunted prison. Oh, no wonder it closed. He just stole TVs from Sears. It's like the most like trashy way to go to prison. Ironically, I was raised by TV dads, like the great Bill Cosby. Great. No film. I mean, this is it. This is where my dad hung out while my mom gave birth to my sister. Fun fact, I was a conjugal visit. They had those in the 80s. My mom revealed that to me at some point, that she got out and got to horn it up with my dad and make me. This is a fun story. My mom was 9 months pregnant, and she came to visit my dad, who was locked up here. And during the visit, he was like, I have to tell you something. I was married before you. New information to my mom. I was married before you to a woman named Tanya, and she is pregnant, and the baby might be mine. And keep in mind, my mom is 9 months pregnant, in a prison visiting her husband. And there were also 2 other suitors, or possible baby daddies. One was my dad's best friend who had recently tried to light his wife on fire. And the other was my grandpa, his dad.
I married up my wife's family tree. It looks like a tree. It's like a trunk with branches and beautiful foliage. Like, my tree is like if you're driving down the highway and then all of a sudden you go, oh, honey, I think there was a fire. It's just like a charred tree on the side of the road. Half of it's in the highway. It's like, this is the Welch family tree.
We're here. So right down this street, this isn't like, welcome to comedy, but we stayed at a domestic violence shelter for 18 months, a block up here, and we did that when we left my dad. So we had to escape my dad. That's the reality of the situation. As unfunny as it is, he was a dangerous guy, he was someone that we had to run away from, and that my mom was afraid for her life, There were stories about him punching her really hard in the back when she was nursing my sister, or one time she was looking for him in the house, and she was carrying me as a baby, and she couldn't find his gun, and so she's like, okay, I don't know where my husband is, I don't know where his gun is. And then she said she just passed him by, and he was waiting in the closet, and it had those slats on it, and she could see him just standing in there, and she just ran out, afraid for her life. And then this one I remember really clearly, a lot when we were kids, he had really, really stinky farts. And that to me felt like an assault. I was like, I need to go to a shelter after that because he smelled like duty. Those are all true stories. I'm getting together all of these questions to ask my dad, because I feel like if I can get some answers to some tough questions, then maybe, I don't know, maybe that will help me in some way. But I do legitimately have some questions. I just want to know, where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? I don't know where to start, because it's what do you wear to meet your dad? I'm not really sure what to wear. I don't know if I should wear something casual or if I should wear a dress and look nice. And I know that he's not thinking about his appearance at all, which is why this is so ridiculous. I feel like I'm going to prom, but it's with my dad.
I didn't know what to wear. I had no idea, and there's no support online. I was like, okay, what do I wear? A name tag for starters, I guess? There's no support online. There's no BuzzFeed list. There's no 8 perfect fits if your dad called it quits. Or 20 vests to wear if your dad wasn't there for 20 years. And you're queer. There's nothing. Okay, please don't judge me on what I'm about to tell you. I'm only telling you the truth. I wanted to look hot, okay? I can't explain it. I just wanted to look hot. Not sexy, hot. Okay, I wanted my dad to walk out and see me and go, that's the hot one. I have 4 siblings. I wanted him to see me and just be like, that's the hot daughter, or however dads talk, just that's my hot daughter, I'm so proud of you, I didn't know what to wear, so I decided to wear a dress. And I don't wear dresses. I didn't even wear a dress for my wedding. I didn't wear a dress because I wore a business suit because it was a business deal. So I buy this beautiful red floral dress. It looked like something that Sandra Bullock would wear in Speed. After she was done speeding. you know. And if you've never seen Speed, get your life together. It's one of the greatest movies of our time, all right? Some Speed heads in the house. You guys love Speed? That's cool. Yeah, Speed is about a woman who will blow up if she slows down, which is also the plot of How I Lived My 20s. Yeah, just a lot of like, I love my boyfriend and I love his muscles. Can I have another fireball shot? Thank you.
It's Atlanta, Illinois. You know, a lot of people, you know, Atlanta, Georgia gets a lot of the attention, but Atlanta, Illinois is where it's at. My dad used to live here. Last time I visited him when he had like us for the summers, he lived at this trailer right here. And I got my period for the first time in that trailer. So it's actually kind of emotional coming up, realizing that I became a woman in that trailer. Do you think those people want to hear that I got my period in there for the first time? I got my period here for the first time. Got my period in your house for the first time.
My mom didn't tell me anything growing up, okay? No one told us anything in the 90s. I didn't know anything. My mom is like a very Catholic woman, and Catholic people like don't even want to know that they have a body that exists. Like they don't even want to know the functions of it. Like it's like they're always giving it the side eye. They don't want to know. And my mom, she didn't even tell me like my period was coming. She didn't even tell me my period existed. I thought that I was dying the first time I got my period. And that led into adulthood. I didn't know anything. I didn't have an orgasm until well into my 20s because I didn't know how my body worked. In the 90s, we didn't have Google. Like, we had to do this really weird thing, which was just believe people. Such an odd concept. And in 5th grade, this boy, he told me, Mo, if you want to have an orgasm, you have to find your clit. And your clit is in your butt. And I believed him for way too long. I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. Like your clit, they say it's hard to find. And it's pretty dark up in there. You might ask yourself, like, didn't you go to school? Didn't you have health class? But I don't know if you were like this. I was that kid in health class that was just asleep all throughout class. And I was asleep because I was up late at night just digging through my asshole, looking for my clit. That's actually a really relatable joke. It's honestly, a lot of women come up to me after the show, and that shows me that this country is sad. We have issues. The first orgasm I ever had was given to me by a traveling clown. They're very good people. Clowns have horrible PR, but they're very giving people. They are. That's why when people are like, I'm afraid of clowns, I'm like, no. Just wait. Just wait. Have you ever fucked a clown? And that's honestly when they start to back away from the conversation. Because apparently it's not an appropriate conversation to be having at TJ Maxx. And then when I got pregnant, I was so uneducated, and honestly, that one's on me. I was an adult by then. I should have really figured it out. Could have listened to a few podcasts about having a baby, but basically 8 months into my pregnancy, I was like, fine, I'll bite. What's a placenta? You know? Turns out a placenta is like a snack pack for a baby. It's snacks for your unborn child. It's like a little all-you-can-eat buffet happening in there. And when you have a baby, like if you birth a baby out of this area, then like all of a sudden I'm being like so coy. I was just telling you my clit's in my asshole. When you birth your child, then you have to birth your placenta. That's how big it is. It's something else. Before I had my child, the nurse was like, Mo, let us know if you want to save your placenta. And I said, why? And she said, well, some women like to turn it into vitamins. They like to consume it afterwards. You can put it into a sandwich or put it into a smoothie. And I was like, let me get this straight. You want me to birth out a real human being and then after that just Jamba Juice my insides and chug it like a bodybuilder at 24-hour fitness? It was pretty good.
Dude, they've got everything here. Poopy diapers for doggies. Dude, I can't believe they sell this shit. It's like, who's on the road and it's like, wait, I gotta stop and get gas. No, go to that one. They sell axes. But this wouldn't be a bad idea because we don't know what we're walking into. So I'm gonna get this. This is a weird question, but do you guys have those truck balls that hang on the back of a
I know what you're talking
bumper?
about. I don't think so.
I saw you had an axe, so I was like, maybe.
Those truck balls that you put on the back of, you know what I mean?
I'm looking for some truck nuts. You guys are not being recorded, don't worry. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
You too.
My mom, she didn't know she was pregnant with me until 6 months in. So I was only a few months away from being a toilet baby, which is honestly too bad in my line of work because Toilet Baby is a good name for an off-Broadway show starring me, one-woman show, just like, Toilet Baby, flush your expectations. This show fucking sucks. I was horrified. I was like, Mom, you chain smoked for 6 months when you were pregnant with me? And she's like, oh no, I never stopped smoking. But the 80s were truly a different time. There were no rules. She was like, oh yeah, I was smoking in the delivery room. I was smoking, the lady next to me was smoking. Like, what was the doctor saying about this? He was smoking. You were just smoking in front of a newborn. You were smoking. The baby was smoking. A little pack of Newports for the newborn. There were no rules in the 80s. The bar was so low as a parent in the 80s. You could just throw a piece of ham at your kid's face and be called Mom of the Year. My mom is extremely sweet. She's so innocent. I once asked my mom, I said, if you had all the money in the world, where would you move? And she thought about it for a couple seconds. I guess Wisconsin? She lives an hour away from the border of Wisconsin. I'm like, dream big, lady. Go to Minnesota. There were 5 of us and just my mom, single mom, so it was hard for her to keep track of us, but she did have one rule. Her one rule was no tattoos. My older sister was a teen mom. I was a teenage alcoholic. My middle sister was also a teen mom. My brother is a furry. My youngest sister is a stripper, so maybe we could have used a few more rules. Also, we all have tattoos. I wish I could be a stripper. I really do. I just have a lot of misplaced moles all over my body. I'm taken, by the way. But I have a very pale, Irish, a lot of moles, you know, and you've never been at a strip club and they're just like throwing money. They're just like, Jesus Christ. You might want to get that mole checked out. Has it changed colors in the last year? It's like, Jesus Christ, Travis, what kind of bachelor party is this? You know what? I'm gonna skip the lap dance. I'm just gonna circle a couple of these problematic moles, all right? You're gonna wanna address these with your dermatologist first, ma'am. Like, stop calling me ma'am in this joke, dude. Jeez. I don't get why dads are so obsessed with baseball. Like, they're so obsessed with playing catch with their son. They're just like, if they don't have a son, they go like, they're just out of it. They're like, I just want a son to play catch with. I just wish I had a son to play catch with. I need a son so I can throw the ball to him and he can throw the ball to me. Just so obsessed. Meanwhile, he has 5 daughters with 2 hands each, and he's like, no, it has to be a son. The same thing with sons. Like, if sons don't have dads, they're just like, just never had anyone to play catch with. Just threw the ball at the wall all day. My life sucks. I don't get that. It's not that hard to play catch. Like, my mom is so strong. She saved us from our dad. She saved us from a tornado. She always put food in our bellies and a roof over our heads. Like, you don't think my mom can toss the ball to me? So last time I was in Illinois, I bought her a glove, and we went to the backyard, and we played catch. Yeah. And guess what? She fucking sucks. She throws like a girl.
Right, you fall one more time.
Okay, she cannot throw in a straight line. Don't worry. We're just gonna go into conversation.
Oh, gosh. I was in a smoking room, and my roommate smoked, and I smoked, and her mother smoked, and her grandmother smoked. So when you walked past our room, it was like walking past, you know, the bathroom at the high school where all the smoke's coming out.
Did the doctor say that it was okay?
The doctor smoked.
So what do you think about me going trying to find him?
Well, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I think it's scary because I don't, it really scared me.
Yeah. Is it scary because we don't know him since he was
Because of his temper. Because of temper, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think he's funny?
No.
What kept you going when you came up here and not getting any help from this person
At all.
you have to do it all by yourself? Like, what kept you going day to day?
Well, I mean, it was pretty dark, you know, because I really thought I was a terrible parent, a terrible mom, and that I should just give you all back to your dad, and then, you know,
What? Say it.
I would just go kill myself, you know.
Yeah.
Because if I, you know, that you guys were better off without me, you know.
And you thought that you could find time in the day to go be by
Well,
yourself and kill yourself.
I would have given you to your dad, you know.
Right, you had a plan.
Yeah. And, you know, you kids just wouldn't let me, you know, you're like, Mom, I'm hungry.
I love the idea of like, I'm trying to have a mental breakdown
Yes,
right
I
now,
was.
and you have no time.
Yeah, and so I'd have to go make a grilled cheese, you know.
Yeah.
And so you kids really are what saved me.
Dad really left us in the dust like an old Ford truck that's full of rust. Now I'm gonna find my dad in the middle of a place Central Illinois. 5'9", you took a shine at the sports and cars and that mother of mine. And 5 years later, he left and made a single mama, 4 girls, 1 boy. Hey, that's life. You hate where you are enough to leave your children and your wife. Oh, hey, that's life. Now
Hi.
what will you do?
What's the most popular blizzard?
Find you. I don't know, but I'm gonna find you.
Hey, Cribs. It's me, Mo Welch. We're here at my childhood home, which has been demolished because it was deemed unlivable for humans. So come on in. This is the front door. This is where the little porch area was. And living room right here. My parents slept on the pull-out couch, which is ironic because my dad never pulled out. Thank you. But yeah, there were like tons of rats. I remember so many snakes. The bathroom back there, there were like 3 sheds lined up, and then there was an outhouse where we had to go to the bathroom when our plumbing was clogged, which was a lot because 7 people to 1 toilet, and we were all lactose intolerant and lived on government cheese and ice cream. Okay, guys, I gotta go clean my Lamborghini, so you guys gotta go. Get out of here. I'll see you next time, though. All right, MTV, play more music videos. So fucking hot out here. All right, one little story time before you guys go to bed, all right? This, I mean, it's a crazy story. Like, I just want you to know that I don't find this to be sad, and I've gone to 1 hour of therapy, so don't worry about me when I tell you this story. But the day that we left my dad, we were like sitting in the living room over there, and he threw this like huge atlas book at me. It's like this big, and then I ducked, and it hit the TV, and then the TV went flying out the window, which was great because it's like he went to prison for getting those TVs, and you know, the disrespect and the irony is all there. My mom had decided that day, like, she had had enough. All right, we're moving out of here. She was changing my sister's diaper, and he kicked her like a football. And she's like, I'm getting out of here. And my grandpa comes down from Chicago to help us move. And he's like out here, you know, looking for me. Everything's pretty much packed up in the house, but I'm missing. So my grandpa walks into the kitchen, and I have the freezer door open, and I'm just eating each ice cream 1 by 1 into my mouth. And they're like, where is your dad? We don't know where your dad is. We don't know if he's gonna like try to kill us. You know, classic 80s sitcom stuff. And you know, I'm just there eating each ice cream 1 by 1 because when you're a kid, or at least when I was a kid, all I cared about was sugar. You know, like everything else was norm. The chaos, that's like normal. But like, you can kill me. Go ahead and kill me, but my corpse better be full of ice cream.
Did you guys ever notice that Casper's just like a dead child? Flying around, it's very morbid. I just love how Disney was like, we're gonna kill all the mothers. And then whoever created Casper was just like, fuck it, let's kill the kid. Let's just kill the main character and see what happens. Let's just murder Devon Sawa.
When you have like no money and a lot of kids, and you can't afford a nanny, you just send your kid to the cemetery. And so I played in the cemetery like every day in the summer, and I actually made a friend. There was this teenager who died, and she was a 3-sport athlete. She's like the Michael Jordan of the cemetery, at least. And I visited her every day. Like, her family would come, and I'd be like, don't worry, refilled the flowers, told her all about my school, my life. But every single day I visit this girl. I think might be this one. Yeah, it's this one. It's really nice. I feel like someone's still visiting her. was really pretty. Yeah, see, basketball, softball, volleyball. When you're a kid, you don't, I don't know, you just kind of think you're immortal. So the fact that a teenager died and she like played all these sports, I think I was like really mourning her. Did not know her when she was living. Should reiterate that. This one's for you, Nikki Jo Hutchcraft. Whoosh. This small town shit. I feel, I don't even know if it's excitement. There's like a pit in my stomach. I feel like my stomach is just turning because I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I orchestrated this whole thing and it's so fucking weird. He's getting close. Smells like dung, cow dung. It's poo-poo from a cow's butt. Like, I feel like at least I should know him, and now my material moving forward should be present. Like, I know this person, and even if he's like gonna abandon me again and we get there and he's not there, I was like, at least it's a new joke. At least it's like a new abandonment joke. I mean, as a comic, it's like, that would be fucking hilarious. It's like, I couldn't write a better ending to this story, is that he doesn't show up.
There's no literature on how to meet up with your estranged dad, so I didn't have a lot of support. I was like, what do I do? Do I just like get into it, just like pick up where we left off, you know? Just like, okay, well, all right, 4th grade, I lost the spelling bee. Ironically enough, my word was estranged. And I spelled it with a J. Just stranged. And that big brain of mine brought me to college in the community. Yeah. 2-year, what's up? Dropped out. And then I made myself a family. I have a wife and I have a baby. Yeah. They're not up here. They don't deserve that. They've done nothing. I am thinking about walking out on them. Do you recommend? That's what I would ask my dad. We'll see how the reunion goes.
Wish me luck. Hopefully he shows up this time. Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not going with you. Yeah. Let you do this one on your own. All right.
Every story that I have of my dad, he is the villain. And I feel like maybe he's changed. It's been 20 years. I'm really not afraid of him. I have so much adrenaline. There's a part of me that's like, why the fuck did I do this? And then the other part of me is like, I'm kind of excited. Like, I feel like maybe we'll have a rapport, and like, once I ask him those questions and I get some answers, I think that like we'll be able to put all of that stuff behind us.
Well, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I think it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
It really scared me. And I'm afraid that he's going to think that you're making fun of him. He wouldn't be too happy with that. Do they know you were his biggest champion when we first moved up here? You were his biggest champion.
Hi, Dad. How are you?
I'm good.
Good
How
to
are
see you. Thanks for being part of our project.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, I'll just get started right with the questions. All right, well, first question. Who is your #1 celebrity crush?
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Okay, so this is so weird. We don't really know what the ending of this is because a lot has happened. First of all, I do want to say this. About a mile down the road on the motorcycle with my dad while I was bare-legged straddling him, I realized the dress was the wrong decision. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I was holding on to him like this. If you love your dad, you don't know who he is. Yeah. But okay, so what happened, like after I saw my dad, we texted for like maybe like 10 texts back and forth, and that was about a year ago. And then it was kind of back to normal, which was radio silence. So that was kind of comfortable for me, and it was comfortable for him. And then a month ago in September, I get this call that he's in a coma. And he crashed that motorcycle that we were on, and he was looking like he wasn't gonna make it. And so it was very confusing for me, because when I got that call, I didn't know how to feel. You know, like I was so confused on my emotions, because in a lot of ways, this guy was still my enemy. So I decided to go there and see how he was, and I, get to the hospital, and he's in a horrible state, not just Tennessee, but also just, it wasn't looking, it just wasn't great. And he is, I meant to say this up front, truly I did. He's okay now. That's, honestly, I was not trying to build tension there. It was so incredibly awkward. Like the nurses were all there, and they were just like, I felt like I was, like it was like a sitcom I was a star of, and they were the audience, and I had to like be like, I'm the daughter, like I'm playing this part. And they were like, oh, it's so great that you came all the way from California to see your dad. And I just wanted to be like, it's complicated, you idiots. But they were just doing their job, and they were so nice. But I didn't know how to leave, and the nurses were watching me, and so I just leaned in and I was like, I love you, Dad, even though I've never said that in my life, and he's never told me that he loves me. And then I left, and I was like waiting for studio applause from the nurses, and it was nothing. So I just left, and I wasn't expecting. Listen, this is very cringe for me to not make jokes for this long, but I wasn't expecting to learn a lesson from all of this, but I did. I learned a lesson, and my lesson, the lesson that I learned is as a parent, attendance is mandatory. It's not that hard to show up for somebody. I showed up for my dad a day later, went to the hospital. He showed up for me last year, and he came and did that project. And if he didn't show up for me, I would have never showed up for him. And if he showed up for me when I was a kid, then our relationship would be a lot different, but it would not be great, because then I wouldn't be a stand-up. So that's not cool. So at the beginning, remember I was talking about jokes and all these dad jokes, and I need to get new jokes. I hate that this happened, but I'm deranged. And I couldn't stop thinking about jokes during this time. And I wrote some new dad jokes, but unfortunately, they're very specific to the situation that's going on right now, so they're completely deranged and fucked up. Yeah. We might not put this in. Okay. All right, so basically my love language is jokes, and here they are. Okay. The doctor said the only reason he is alive is because he wore a helmet. Funny, the only reason I'm alive is because he refused to wear protection. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of yo mama jokes, but these are yo daddy. These are yo daddy jokes, except it's yo daddy so in a coma. Your daddy is so in a coma, he slept through this show and all of your shows and soccer games and softball games and dance recitals. Your daddy is so in a coma, he voted 3 times in Arizona. Your daddy is so in a coma, he has to eat my ass through a tube. Your daddy is so in a coma, he's in a sleep state of prolonged unconsciousness. Okay, that's just for the ones who don't know the definition of a coma. And finally, this one's just really solidifying my entrance into hell. Yo daddy is so in a coma, when I make jokes about him, he's technically a roasted vegetable. Thank you guys so much.
Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers.
Nice. What is your favorite color?
That changes. Green.
All right. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Farmer and a mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Well, then you got half of it, right?
Actually, I worked on some wind farms, so I kind of got both of them.
You got both of them, so you achieved your childhood dreams. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
No.
Dog. What's your favorite zoo animal?
Seal.
Find you.